So this is iOS 18, and in this episode, we're going to cover the top 50 new features of this all new software for your iPhone. Coming up, let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Before we get started with the first feature, every iPhone dating back to the Apple A12 Bionic, iPhone SE, second generation, 10s, 10R, 10s Max year, that is how far back iOS 18 will go. And of course, only certain phones, including this 15 Pro you see here, this 15 Pro Max, and my upcoming 16s to the channel will be having the support for Apple Intelligence. So those are the ones getting Apple Intelligence, which is specifically only for those 8GB of RAM iPhones. So we're going to cover most of what everyone gets in this episode for iOS 18. All right, so let's talk about the very first standout feature. And you can already see this feature front and center on the home screen. It's the ability to put icons wherever you want on the home screen. This is all new, and some people say this looks more like Android, but the fact of the matter is not really. It still has the Apple icons. One thing I did notice when moving these around over my beta testing period is that these icons still tend to kind of want to fly like iOS used to do, kind of like that. So not quite like an Android device. They still have that iOS feel to them where they want to still fly into the corner. And sometimes if you add widgets, let's go ahead and do that right now. If I go ahead and add a widget, how about weather here? For example, let's swipe this over. You'll see they kind of still have that move effect that is very iOS. So they just kind of fly into those spots. They're trying to get more neatly organized. So to me, it doesn't feel like a very free form area, like you could just put it wherever. I mean, you can, but it still feels like it's trying to get back into that that same like neat organization that it has before. Some people might like that, some people may not. Personally, sometimes I get annoyed because I'm trying to move it somewhere and it wants to do this, like it still wants to fly next to an icon. So you play around with it, you'll get them where you want them on the screen, but overall, that's the newest feature here. One of the standouts is placing icons wherever you want on screen. The second feature is dark mode icons. So you see we're in a darker wallpaper in dark mode, but we still have these light icons. So hold down anywhere on the screen, tap edit in the top left corner, click customize there. You'll see down here, hit the dark mode and boom, icons are dark. Now what's neat about this too is even third-party icons, a lot of them get dark as well. If they're not able to get fully dark, like for example, over here, Grubhub got dark fully, but this one over here, like let's check, I think there's one, Instagram, didn't get fully dark, but it kind of got a tinted dark look. So overall, it's a really dark effect. And if you want to go even further, we'll go on to the third feature, which is color tinting. So at number 3 is color tinting. So if we go over here to customize once again, you'll see all the way in the right-hand corner, tinted. Now, when you tint, it will actually tint every single icon on phone. And this is actually being advertised on the Apple website when you're looking at the 16 Pros. They show the different colors with these tinted icons. So definitely, this is a really neat effect and something you would only be able to do in the past on jailbreak iPhones. In addition, this is something Android was able to do, but there's a lot of Android phones that still don't get every icon tinted unless you go deeper into customization on some more third-party software. So this is really nice for iPhone users to get the full customization and tinting here of the icons. It's a pretty neat touch if you ask me. At number 4, we're going to stay on the home screen here and we're going to be in larger icons. So not only are these icons larger, they're also going to remove the name underneath these icons as well. So if I go over here and I hit edit and then I go to customize, you're going to see large icons. It's going to make them very large. And what's cool about this is you don't have to go to the settings and find the icon area. It's right on the home screen, but it also removes the icons. So you're going to have to know what those icons mean. And I know some people say, I know what they look like, but some people actually do need the names underneath to see exactly what they're going to be clicking on. So this might not work for everybody, but if you want a larger icon format, you can definitely get that here for the iPhone. This could be very helpful for maybe for smaller iPhones, want to boost the size of it. Or maybe people just want a super large iPhone experience with large text, large icons, everything's super large. That's my number 4 feature here. It's a really good one. Also, you'll see that you can we're still on the same feature of the larger icons. You can actually tint those. And I do want to mention, you can also take this color picker and find exactly what kind of tint you want on your icon, depending where you are on the wallpaper, kind of like you would do in some photo editing software when you're looking for a specific color. Pretty cool right there, I would say. So definitely a nice touch. You hit small right here, you'll be good to go. In addition, on this top left corner, and this is all still talking about the icons here, you do have the ability to change that wallpaper color. You could see right there, dark, light, dark, light. So pretty nice over there touch for the iPhone, and that's actually darker. That can actually get darker than dark mode. So these newer iPhones also get the 16s go down to like 1 nits. So if you're upgrading to 16, not only are you going to get super dim display, but you also can dim the brightness. So it's going to be great phones to read at night, for example, or before bed. If you're reading a Kindle book or something like that, you can get really, really dim. So also this looks a little bit different as well. The ability to resize widgets like that. That's a cool new feature. It's kind of similar to the control center on here, so I just wanted to mention that for iOS 18. In addition, if you go ahead and edit the widget, you can see you have those abilities to just change it by clicking right here into these little different sizes. Pretty nice, instead of having to go into change it from the widget section itself. So just a nice quicker way of changing the size of the widgets. 5 is messages via satellite. So you can use iMessage and text messages when cellular or Wi-Fi are not available. I think this is only reserved for iPhone 14 models and newer, like the 14 Pro, Pro Max. So make sure you check before. You might not see this in your messages. So depending on the model you have, this might be limited a little bit. So keep that in mind. But messages via satellite is a massive feature, because if you're somewhere stranded, you have no signal, getting messages via satellite could be a life-saving experience. So a really nice new feature here, and it goes into number 5. All right, so let's talk about text effects. It's actually labeled right here. You'll see it right there. So we have a cool looking car here. The person talking to me said this is supposed to be released in 2030. So cool looking car. So I want to really emphasize this though. So I'm going to go ahead and click over here on text effects, and you'll see we have different ones such as big, bold, ripple, jitter, to kind of emphasize what you want to do. So click on that, click over here, and then go like that, and you'll see there you go. So text effects will definitely enhance the iMessage experience. And this is further separating iMessage from, other phones that don't use iMessage. So Apple always does this every year, because I checked on my other messages to an Android that I wasn't able to do the text effects. You also have the underline, the italicize, and the strike through, in addition to bold. So there's multiple ways to format in iMessage as well now. So you could really emphasize what you're talking about, unlike ever before. So that goes in at number 6, text effects. All right, so number 7 is emoji sticker and tapbacks. So let's go ahead and click this. Now we already had add stickers before, but if you see up at the top here, you have all these nice different stickers up here you can use in emojis, and then you can go ahead and click this here, and you could find basically everything you want from there. So a really nice change to the tapback section and emoji stickers and tapbacks. I do think this is a great touch to iOS right here for sure. So at number 9 is actually the ability to send a message later. So if I want to send this later, so I'm going to be like, I'm going to say this is a nice car, but doesn't suit my style, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click right here, and I'm going to scroll down to send later. And then you can message this person whenever you want. So let's say, you know what, I'm not going to bother this person until about 5 p.m. The person's at work. They don't got time for my messaging right now. Let me send it off later. Or maybe you got to tell somebody something in the morning, but you don't want to text them at night. There you go. And if you're like, you know what, forget this, I don't want to send this, you can just go ahead and edit this. Let's click edit and delete the message so it doesn't send. So that's going to really help you avoid some mistakes. If you sent something that basically you didn't want to say, that can really help out quite a bit. All right, guys. So at number 9 is going to be RCS. So if you go into messages here, RCS is a huge update to iPhone here, and it's basically where you can text Android phones better now than ever. You'll see full resolution pictures, and it's in messages under RCS messaging, and you'll be able to send nice video chat. You'll also be able to see when people are typing and things of that sort. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that really quickly, what it will actually look like. So here is the Google Pixel 9 Pro, one of the most beautiful Android phones out there. Let's demonstrate this for you really quickly. We're going to go into messages. Let me make sure I go to the proper feed here, and you'll see when I start typing, hey, this is, hold on, you'll see it over here in a minute. This is a cool picture. So you should be able to see the typing. Hold on, let's do one send and then it'll start showing likely. So you can see it's showing that I'm typing over here, hey, get this picture sent to me. Sent to me. Okay, and then you could say, hey, see how it shows the bubbles? What would you like me to send? And you could see that rich communication. Also, if I hit a tap back over here on the pixel, there you go, it tapped back. And if I tap back here, let's go. There you go, they tap back. So they're working better than ever together. So I like to see this, making people able to communicate a little bit better. Doesn't matter what phone they have. You still have green bubbles over here, of course. They're going to keep it like that, obviously. But I was also able to send really sharp images and videos too now between Android and iPhone. So a great new feature for the iPhone and iOS 18 is this RCS messaging. So at number 10 is a redesigned control center. As you can see up here, everything is a little bit different now, and you have the ability to rearrange these to different sizes wherever you want, stuff of that sort. So a really nice new look here for sure. This is a very nice control center here now compared to before. It just looks more modern. Now some people say it looks like some other software they've seen before, but that's neither here nor there. We're talking about iOS today. And you could see I've been finding this to be a little bit slow when scrolling in the control sections though. So I hope Apple makes this smoother, but at the same time, there's a ton you can do, a ton you can add, and a little bit less like you have to go digging around in settings to customize your control center. This is a major new feature, and it goes in at number 10 for the iPhone right here. And at number 11 is the new flashlight feature. As you can see, it has a new design right here. You're able to kind of move it around, move it up, move it side to side. Pretty cool. You can go like this as well. So definitely, and you could kind of angle the flashlight how you want. Now, I'm not sure this is on every single iPhone out there, but definitely it's on here on the 15 Pro here. So let me know if you're getting that new flashlight feature when you do download this iOS 18, but it's definitely a nice new way to use the flashlight here for iOS 18. All right, so the next one is directly accessing group controls from the right edge. So you can see over here, instead of just swiping through, you can also just click on these on the right edge. You can click music, your main controls area, and you can click on the main screen. You can also just swipe through them like that. And then the last one has data. You'll see Bluetooth, cellular data. And somebody asked me before, can you directly turn Bluetooth off from there? Well, let's go ahead and check. And the answer is no, it's not fully off. So you still got to click Bluetooth settings and go ahead and turn off Bluetooth like that. So group controls on the right edge is going in at number 12. And number 13 is resizable controls and control center. So let's click down and you'll see you can actually change these. Let me move this one over here so we can show you. You can get it like that. You can get it like that, or like that. So if you want big controls, you can have those. If you want them smaller like this, you can have that. Let's go ahead and hold here. And it doesn't let you go like that. So it's going to be like this, or like this. So it's really up to you. And you can see all these circles are signifying areas where you can add controls. So you can have a plethora of controls, or you can have just a very small amount. It's really, really up to you. So who has noticed that on websites when you're browsing now, you're just getting bombarded with ads and it's just a cluttered experience and you just don't even want to read it anymore unless you use a reader mode or you use an ad blocker, which I don't really recommend unless it's a ethical way of doing so. If you go over here to clicking over here, you'll see hide distracting items. So Apple will not actually block ads, but you can kind of find what you want to hide and hide it. So right there, it just kind of got rid of that. And then you can go ahead and see this part right here I want to hide. And then I'll hit done. If I scroll down, I can go ahead and do it again. So let's go ahead and click here, hide distracting items, click that and hide that. And I'll be done. So now I can read this article with much less distracting banner ads and things like that, but it doesn't remove the ads, it's just hiding them out of the way. So a really nice solution to not blocking ads, but hiding them from the user so the creator can still earn money, but at the same time, you don't have to be bombarded with too many ads while you're trying to read or really digest some information. So that's a really nice new feature. Hide distractions on Safari with distraction controls. Really quite like that. Okay, the next one, we're still in Safari at number 15 is a redesigned reader mode. So if I click over here, you can see right here, if I click show reader and I click one more time, you'll see we have these bold, easy to use and change colors. You can also change your different fonts, which have been on iPhone forever, but it's just bolder, bigger, easier to use really nicely here. You can also listen to page, and you can hide the reader as well, change the text size. It just looks different and updated and just a little bit nicer for the reader mode. Just a nice new feature there for iOS 18. But we're still in this Safari article, and I want to go ahead and search something up. So this new feature at number 16 is highlighting key information via text search or whatever you are reading. So click over here and type in AirPods right there. 4, and it'll find all the sections where we're talking about AirPods 4. So if you definitely want to just find a specific thing, like let's get a little more specific. How about the open ear design? We want to hear about that. So it's gonna go ahead and find, hold on, I spelled that wrong. So it's gonna have a problem there. Open ear design, let's see if it found it. It didn't quite find it that time. Hold on, let's put ear. Let's just put ear. See if we can find some more simple. I could not type today. What is going on? So we want to hear about ear. So we're ear shapes, ear design, ear tips. So we found exactly where they're talking about ear. So this is really good if you don't want to scroll through looking for information. The iPhone can find it for you here with highlighting key information, text search in the reader mode. So a really nice touch. Also, I'm not covering a lot of Apple Intelligence in this video because it's not available for everyone. But if you do have a 15 Pro or newer, you can summarize these articles as well via Apple Intelligence, and it'll summarize the article for you right there. Nice, clean article that you don't have to read the entire thing, just a nice summary right up there for you. That's just a little bonus right there for you. All right, guys. So at number 17 is a dedicated passwords application. So as you can see right there, it will be locked by default. It'll say this is locked. Use Face ID to unlock. And of course, you're going to want to have that enabled. You'll have passkeys, all your passwords neatly organized into these sections right here. Wi-Fi deleted, and then the security section will tell you reuse passwords or things that might have been compromised. Now, I got a little bit of work to do. You know, some of those are deleted websites that are just still in there, so I got to go mess around with that. But that's neither here nor there. You see, we do have different areas. You can also add shared groups down here as well. So having a dedicated area of passwords without having to go into settings and locate all that, and it's just much more neatly organized here in iOS 18 is a bonus, is a real big bonus, I think, for iOS 18 users. And number 18 is the new calculator app with history and math notes. Now, this is one of the biggest things people were talking about early on, and including me. But I'm going to mention it here. If you haven't really watched a bunch of iOS 18 content, you can see all of your calculations here. You'll also see the history of what you were just doing there. You can click over here to see more history on the side, and then click down here and you can go to the scientific calculator, which is a nice big calculator. In addition to that, you can go over here to math notes, which is one of the coolest new features. You can solve math just by typing expressions instantly and see the results in your math notes, which are going to be found in Apple Notes. So they'll save a section in Apple Notes from the calculator. So math will be in your Notes app. Pretty cool. One of the coolest features, though, is you can actually take your finger and just type out things. 5 times 5 equals, and you'll see it'll showcase it there. But it also does other things, like if you want to do 500 plus 600, draw a line underneath, and there you go. It'll show you 1100 right there. So you got to be careful with this, because I feel like people could use this to cheat on things in class and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure teachers are not going to want like this one. Hopefully they keep the phones in a separate box or something like that. But definitely helpful for those of you who are using your iPhone for solving equations or doing anything math related. This is a major update to not only iOS, but iPadOS as well. So, and it's going to be even more useful if you have an Apple Pencil on iPad to do that. But one of the big deals is just having a calculator with history without ads. You know how many apps are in the App Store with a history-based calculator that have ads all over them? And I understand it's only $1 to pay for that, but I don't think a lot of people want to pay for a calculator app. I'm just being real. It's just such a basic thing. I just don't want to do that. So at number 19, Photos gets a massive redesign, and you can see we do have now collections, and you could also see that they're nicely organized right there as well. So that's the first big feature in Photos. So number 20 is reorganizing and modifying those collections. So you can click modify here and you'll be able to move these things around however you would like. And this is really neat because instead of having, you know, photos all scattered all over, you have neat sections to see them in. Now, for me, I still think this Photos app is not super minimal. It's very packed with features, But considering how much photos you take on your iPhone, it's kind of nice to have them in all these like nice collections now. It's a really nice update, I would say, for iOS 18. So I haven't took photos on this particular iPhone for my recent trips, but you can see it will automatically organize the trips, and also you can organize groups and people and pets and trips as well. So it's going to be one of the more organized versions of iOS you've ever seen for your Photos application. So if you rely only on your iPhone for all your photo needs, this is going to be one of the best photo apps ever you're going to find on iPhone. Okay, in recent days section is going to be a little bit above pin collections. I'm not going to show it here because I got a lot of personal photos in there that I don't want being seen. But you could definitely see right here, this is one of my recent days. In my recent days section, it organizes everything by that day. And then you could just quickly find those things that you want to see right there. So very simple, very easy, and you don't got to see all the screenshots or other mess of things that weren't actually taken by the camera. So the Photos app is just getting so smart here in iOS 18. It really is. Still in Photos for number 23, and that's going to be the Utilities section here. So let's click on this, and you'll see you have all of these different things in here, including documents, imports. You'll also see QR codes, illustrations, handwriting, and more. So basically a ton of things that are utility based are being really nicely organized here in this section in the Photos app. So a really nice change as well. Okay guys, and then in the Photos app as well, this is not going in as a separate feature. We were still under utilities. You can search now specific items that are going to be a little bit smarter. Now you could do this before, but it's going to get even better, especially with the iPhones with Apple Intelligence. So do keep in mind the search is improving as well for iOS 18, getting a little bit more easy to find specifics in Photos. So definitely Photos, the whole app itself is just a top new feature. It really does change the way you use Photos in a way that's much more organized than ever before. Number 24 is you can now power off the iPhone without clicking the buttons. You can actually use the software here. Up in the top right corner, hold this down and it will automatically appear the power button. In addition, you also can enable this from the lock screen. So let's go ahead and hold that down and you can go ahead and slide it off. So definitely a nice new feature for those of you who don't want to hold down the power button or just have another way to power off your iPhone. It's now available for iOS 18. So number 25 is that the Apple Maps now gets hikes and custom routes. So you can now actually have custom routes for your hikes when using Apple Maps, which is pretty cool. You also get topographic maps as well in here. So a really, really beautiful new way of using Apple Maps here in iOS 18. Right, so you can see right here in Apple Maps, we're going to go ahead and check out this course right here. It will show you right here, creating that custom route for you. And this is going to be really good for you, those of you who have regular exercise routines, or you're traveling and you want to go ahead and take a walking tour when you're in that city or do a hike in that city. It will give you those directions for you. So Apple further is separating itself from some competitors in Apple Maps, giving you some features you won't find in every single map app out there. And I'm not pointing out any specifics, but this is a nice new feature for Apple Maps specifically if you are doing a lot of these activities like hikes and walks and stuff like that, and you like to visit trails. It's something I really like to do, so I'm definitely going to take advantage of this new feature. And number 26 is topographic maps. You'll be able to see things like elevation, trails, and points of interest as well. So definitely in lowest points, highest points, you'll be able to see a lot more information and able to just kind of visit out these trails a lot better with these topographic maps. So not only can you create those custom routes in number 25, but number 26, they have topographic map displays. So really a very, very nice new addition here to iOS 18 this year. And lastly, in maps here, you can go to the save places section. You could see the different places that you have saved, and you can also add more to this saved places section. So a really nice, again, organization. So I feel like a lot of iOS 18 is getting things cleaned up, organized, a little bit easier to use, and adding features that just weren't there before that's making it a little bit more, in a way, it's got more, like it's a little more feature packed, but at the same time, it's also more organized and more easy to use, I would say, in terms of keeping things in places that you don't got to dig around for stuff. That's a huge change here in iOS 18. And you could see Places makes that simpler in Apple Maps. And number 28 is the all new game mode. So if you click a new game, you'll see that the game mode does appear up here, and it'll say, when game mode is on, background activity is reduced to optimize the performance of this game. Now, this even applies to the most basic games, which you might not need the most max performance. But you know what? I will take max performance on every game, because that's one of those times when I'm trying to have some fun and I don't want to be distracted by some bad performance. So this might even help some older iPhones that don't have enough power to run games smoothly throughout. So game mode is going to optimize games to be the best performance possible on the iPhone, which is something we didn't have before in 17. So definitely gamers rejoice. You're going to be very happy with iOS 18. Number 29, journal. It actually has state of mind. Let me go ahead and open this up. I don't want to show my exact journals, but I will show you what you can do. New journal entry today. So we now have the ability, ability to go ahead and track state of mind. So you'll see right here, bottom right corner, you can now put neutral. You can also put unpleasant, very unpleasant. Hopefully you're having a very pleasant time right now watching iOS 18. Thumbs up if you're enjoying it. But you'll see right here, we go through here, just a really, really nice ability to go ahead and change your state of mind. I like that, because when you're journaling about some state of mind. Either you had a great day, or you had a bad day, or you had a neutral day, and you just want to release some stuff. So nice to add that right there within the journal application. We also do have at number 30 insights right within journals. So you can see I did 133 entries this year. I've written 15,000 words, and I journaled 120 days. So not quite every single day, but definitely I've got quite a bit of words written in there. So it'll show you all that data analysis to see what your habit is like. And again, a journaling habit is really good for your mental health. So the more you can see these numbers and see, you know what, I'm getting better, I'm journaling more, it might inspire you to journal a little bit more and further improving your mental health. So definitely, I do like these new insights. It's definitely more motivating to kind of boost those up a little bit. Okay, so at number 31 is going to be journal now allows you for searching. So you can see right here, this magnifying glass up in the right-hand corner. I'm going to go ahead and type in new journal entry right here, and you'll see we found that entry that we put in today. You'll also be able to find specific entries based on specific words you had written. And trust me, in here, this thing gets really loaded. When you start writing a lot of entries, it's like an infinite scroll of entries. So you'll definitely want to use this feature to locate specific words if you want to revisit some of your past thoughts that you were writing down here within Journal. And remember, the Journal application is fully encrypted. It's only on your device. It cannot be seen by nobody else. And it can be locked and hid, which we'll talk about later when we talk about another new feature in iOS 18. And since we're on the topic of Journal, we also have an all new widget at number 32, which is going to be, you guessed it, the Journal widget. So this wasn't available in iOS 17. So an all new widget feature available. So let's go up here and find it. Where are you? Am I scrolling past it? Yeah, I am. It's right there. You have different sizes you can do, and it'll show you new entries, or you can see different streaks as well. So nice way to just quickly remember, oh, I need to do a journal today. There you go. Bam, right there, right available front and center for you. Okay, so on certain applications in number 33, you can now hide them, or you can require Face ID. For Journal, you have the ability to go ahead and require Face ID. So you can see right there. So it will not appear for anyone without seeing Face ID. So now if I click Journal, you're not getting in there without my face, which means my phone would have to be in my hand. So it's really nice. But you can also hide some distracting apps or sensitive apps that you don't want people getting into. For example, I don't want people snooping in my social media. So I'm going to go ahead right here and click Require Face ID. And you're going to see Instagram can hide and require Face ID. So I don't want you snooping in my Instagram account. So I can obscure its app's appearance and hide this application only via Face ID. Now with that, you're going to see that they're neatly organized here down into the app's hidden folder. So pretty nice that you can hide those things for sure. You'll see down here, if you click this, there's that Instagram app, and you can do this for multiple applications. Not every single one can be hidden. but definitely a lot of them can. So it's a really nice new touch for iOS 18. I love that feature. Some people say it doesn't really matter because you still see this hidden folder. Well, that's something they can improve in the future, but still, if you're not scrolling all the way down there, you might be looking fast and you're not going to find that application. Also, you can't get it in without Face ID. So let's head on to number 34, which is going to be apps are now neatly organized into their own section. In this feature, you'll see Apple has brought down all the applications into its own section here. So really nice. And you also have this area where you can go alphabetically, and you can see they organize them by letter. So all the C applications are here, the D, E, and the list goes on and on. So everything you want right there. You also see there's a specific hidden apps feature right here, which will click on this and it'll showcase all the apps in the hidden section, which are Instagram, for example. So I complained about this in prior iOS years. This is a nice new touch, having its dedicated clean app section right within settings. So number 35 is Math Notes goes right within Apple Notes. We talked about the calculator earlier, but in this feature, you'll see within Apple Notes, they now have call recordings as well as quick notes, Math Notes right here. So all those things you were typing out and writing out within the calculator, look at, they got transferred right over here into Apple Notes. So again, really nice because you typically are doing all your math work with an Apple Pencil or within Notes, and you'll be able to quickly see these. And of course, they'll sync across both devices. So if you're writing something with an iPad, doing a entire calculation, you go back to your iPhone, you need to quickly check that math on the go. It'll be right there within Math Notes. So a nice new touch again, and that's going in at number 35 for iOS 18. At number 36, we're staying in Apple Notes. You have the ability now to record audio directly inside this Notes application straight from the attachment section. So click this attachments paperclip looking thing there, and you'll see right there the ability to record audio. You are able to go ahead and take notes before using images and adding images, but now being able to record that audio directly from this notes section is a big deal. In addition to that, you just click record. You'll see right there. If you click this, you get some live transcriptions as well. So it'll see what you're saying. I'm recording a video on iOS 18, and it's pretty fast too. So it missed that, but you get the point. You get the point. It's a pretty nice new addition here to the Apple Notes application for sure. Also with Apple Notes, if you click the 3-dot thing over here, you'll go over here to recent notes. This is all new as well. You'll see some of the recent notes that you had just done without actually having to leave the note. So let's say you were in a note, you thought of something, you said, I want to see a recent note, but I don't want to leave this note. I'm still focused. I just want to make sure I did a recent note on that. You'll be able to see that history of your recent notes. So that goes in at number 37 on the new 50 new features of iOS 18. So staying on the focus of Apple Notes here, at number 38 is the ability to highlight directly within the Notes app. So you can go ahead and take this text, click on the A icon, and you'll see we have all this formatting, but we can change different colors here. We can highlight these in like this blue, purple, pink, orange. It's a pretty cool change. I really quite like this quite a bit within Apple Notes. So those are some of the newer features within Apple Notes. And I think they're going to be some game-changing features for those of you who are heavy note takers on your iOS products and iPadOS products. So did you know you can track now in iOS 18 your eyes? Yes, I said that correctly, your eyes. Let's go into settings. You'll want to locate the accessibility section, scroll down, and you can see eye tracking. Yes, I can track you via your eye. You can track the phone via your eyes. This is going to work with anything iPhone 12, iPhone SE 3rd gen, or newer. So you could turn that on, and it will tell you to follow the dot around the screen. I'm not actually going to do the whole thing right here, but definitely eye tracking is available. You can see it has things like dwell control, which can maintain your gaze for a specified direction. You can auto hide things, also snap to item and zoom on the keyboard. You can also smooth the pointer movement, increasing the value, may decrease pointer responsiveness. So this is going to be a great new feature for those of you who need to use eye tracking. I definitely like that they're adding more to the accessibility because iOS has always been known for having great accessibility features, but further improving on this section only makes the software more valuable, especially the people who need to use these specific features. This is such a small but important feature, I feel like, for people who are heavy into planning their life out in their Apple Calendar. you now have these little sections that will show you that you have upcoming events, but you can also click this hamburger over here and you'll see details, list, compact views. So you can change things out and just kind of get a little bit more. I'm not going to show list or details because that's going to show you exactly what I got coming up, and we don't want to spoil the surprises I got for you guys. But definitely you can see that you can get a lot more details in here, and it will showcase to you text if you go ahead and put details on. So calendar at number 40 is pretty awesome. You can also create and view and edit reminders alongside these events without having to leave the app. So calendar does get a nice improvement here in iOS 18. So within voice memos at number 41, live transcriptions. So let's go ahead and click record. And as we're recording, I showcased this in Apple Notes, but you click this little icon over here. And hello, this is a test of the recording with the live transcription. You have to talk pretty clear, because if you talk too low or not loud enough, then it will probably not understand what you're saying. But overall, this is a cool feature for iOS 18 that was previously seen on some other phones, but awesome that we now have it here on iOS 18 for the users who want to use such a feature and see exactly what they're saying within their recording. So pretty nice new touch here. At number 42 is a T9 dialer. You're able to go ahead and click numbers and find the context based on the letters and stuff like that. Something you couldn't do before. So it's just nice to finally have this feature again on a smartphone. T9 dialer is pretty awesome here for the iPhone. And as you can see, this is how it looks. I have an Android contact, and you'll see that I did type in some of the numbers and it popped it up just like a T9 dialer would. So pretty cool here for iOS 18. Let me know your thoughts on that feature. Did you miss that? At number 43, the recent calls area does have now a search bar to search out some recent calls. If you get a ton of calls or calls you're specifically looking for somebody who called you, you didn't know what the number was, or you're just searching something out like that, that's further improving the phone call experience. So while everybody doesn't use their phone all the time as a phone, they use it as a pocket computer a lot. Even the phone area of iOS 18 has gotten pretty well improved here over prior years. So if you use your phone still as a phone, it's a better phone. So at number 44, you're now going to be able to just bring two iPhones together and tap to cash, Apple Cash. So this is going to exchange money without numbers or email addresses being shared, essentially allowing you to quickly send cash between two different iPhones in iOS 18 very easily without any data information being change between two. Why is that important? Because when you're sending, there's a trace when you're sending, at PayPal or something like that. With this, you can just cash to cash. Pretty simple, like handing somebody a dollar bill. But now it's going to be with your iPhone to an iPhone, because pretty much most people have an iPhone. So definitely pretty neat. But again, you have to use Apple Cash, and everybody uses Apple Cash. So that's something you got to be set up with. Again, if you're using an Android phone, that's not going to be beneficial to that person. But, you get the point. Tap to cash, pretty nice. Number 45, we do see Fitness Plus now has an Explore tab and a Library tab option over here. So you can explore things. You have a different library, workout, meditations, programs, and you can explore more. So we do have, and we also have these new tab bars inside of iPadOS 18, but the Apple Fitness app, Fitness Plus app, definitely improves here. So that's nice. I mean, a lot of people do pay for the subscription, so it's nice to see that's getting improved as well. So number 46 is with Apple Home. You can now give guests access to things like locking garages, alarm systems, etc. So if you trust certain individuals with this, you can go ahead and allow them to get access to your home controls via the Home application now in iOS 18. So a nice little thing for those of you who appreciate using Apple Home for automating your home. And number 47 is the new Apple Mail categorization. Now, I'm showing this section from Apple's newsroom website. My Apple News, I put two emails on here for some reason right now mine's not showing it like this, but this new feature will showcase different sections of your mail, like primary, shopping, promotions, and stuff of that sort. So the categorization within mail goes in at number 47 again. I download the app, I put my emails in there right now. Mine is personally not showing, but I am, definitely going to look out for that in the future. But that's a nice new feature, Apple Mail categorization. Number 48 is actually related to AirPods. So AirPods with Siri interactions now will allow you to basically nod your head, shake yes or no when you get like one of those Siri notifications like, hey, this person's calling, this message. You could say yes or no using your head. So pretty cool. Also, voice isolation will allow you with AirPods to take calls in super windy and crazy conditions that you definitely wouldn't have been able to hear nothing before, or the other person would have anyway. So at number 48, those enhancements to AirPods is a big deal. And it's kind of good because they also launched some new AirPods at the Apple Glow Time event this year. Number 49 is we have these new volume rocker and power button effects. You can see there's kind of like a little bit of a bump that happens here on the side. If you look closer, see that? Pretty cool. Also over here on the power button, it also does that as well. And I'm sure with the new capture button, we'll see something very related to that as well. So that could be why they added that for the upcoming capture button, but you could see you benefit here as well with iOS 18. And at number 50 is Apple Intelligence. And there's plenty of new features within here. I could make a whole separate video, which I might do, on all of the Apple Intelligence features. That could take another nice juicy video. But definitely Apple Intelligence brings the all new Siri rewrite features, as well as improved context with Siri. So definitely, I gotta say, man, the iOS 18 Apple Intelligence features are definitely taking this to the next level. And that's why you're gonna see a lot of people upgrading to 16 for this. Also, we'll have ChatGPT integration later. Of course, if you want to use ChatGPT, you can just simply download that now and use the specific application, but it's gonna be built within iOS itself in the future. So that's going to go in at number 50. So that's going to wrap it up for iOS 18, the top 50 new features. You learn things from the messages, from the customizations, and more. And you also learned about how to hide applications. You learned about all the new features within Notes, Calculator, Mail, Fitness Plus, live transcriptions, phone calling, journal improvements. You learned a ton today. And I think we covered all the main bases of the software here in depth. However, there is still tons more you could find in here. I mean, you could mess around and find a ton more features, but those are generally all the forward-facing ones. And of course, I didn't go deep into the AI because I wanted this video to be more for people who, everybody who can like see this, even if they don't have an iPhone with AI features just yet. So if you want to see an Apple Intelligence video separated from this with features, all the new features, let me know down below in the comments. And before we leave out of this video, these are the new iOS 18 wallpapers. They come stock. We have dynamic, yellow, pink, azure, and purple. So definitely these are all the new iOS 18 wallpapers. Just like to show those before I head up out of here. And if you guys found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, enjoying, and you want to see these continue into the future, let me know down below in the comments. Thumbs up. I will catch you all in the next episode. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this, and I hope it provided you value. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.